Da, 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 interacting with objects, part three. Now, the previous two interactive objects were all to do with like soft bodies and rigid bodies and how you can kind of make kind of shapes bounce off each other, that type of stuff. Now, this one, part three, is all going to be about kind of using cloth. So, what I'm planning to do is actually having like a plane which is going to fall down onto this guy, onto the cube, which is already set up for us. We're going to change some of the settings on it so it actually wraps around this as if it was, I don't know, like a towel or a bit of clothing falling on top of it. So, first thing I'm going to need to do is add a plane, and I'm then going to stretch the plane out so it is decent size, and then I'm going to move it up so it is above our cube. And the idea is, like I said, this is going to fall down onto it. Now, a couple of things I need to do first to this before we actually see what that looks like. If I go to the edit mode and I right click on the plane, because that's one we've got selected, and I go to subdivide, and on the subdivide option, I can increase these one by one, and you can see it's subdividing it out so there's more and more faces. But I'm just going to knock it up to about 50 at this point, and you can see then there are like loads of different kind of like cuts in it then. And the idea is when it falls, then it will crease on these different lines, and you'll see what I mean as I go along. But one more thing I need to do to this before I go any further, if I click on the extrude region and then pull it up a little bit, so it has got some thickness. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because the plane itself doesn't actually have any thickness, but by pulling it up slightly like I just did, that means now it has thickness like any kind of material would set. Okay, right. Now, if I go back onto object mode, I don't think I need to do this, but on object mode, I'm first of all going to click on the cube, and I'm going to go to physics on the side, and I'm going to click on collision because obviously we're going to have this colliding with that, otherwise it's just going to fall straight through it. I'm going to click on cloth, and the only thing I really need to change is down here where it says pressure, and I think a little bit further down here where it says collisions, maybe I'll knock the quality up a couple of settings. I don't think I need to do that, but just kind of pointing it out, it might be something you might want to do. And then I'm going to press collision. Now, if I just press play, what will happen is this will fall and it will wrap around our cube. But the one thing is, it looks a little bit pixelated. So one of the ways to fix this on our actual plane or our cloth then itself, if I go to modifiers, and you can see that our two cloth and collision things already added in there, but I want to add something called subdivision surface. Now it crashes sometimes when I do this, so maybe I shouldn't have done so many faces. Oh, actually, it's doing the job. Now, if I want to kind of make it really detailed, then I would increase the levels, but I'm just going to press play a minute as it currently stands to see what happens. So it might be a bit slower as it hits it, but you can see now it looks a lot smoother. In fact, I'm more than happy with that. But if I increase the levels, then we can kind of mess around with that to make it look even more detailed if you needed to, depending on what it was going to wrap around, I suppose. Right then, I wonder how I'm going to do this in my animation. Ta-da! Um, it falls really nicely. It kind of looks like a balloon, doesn't it? Oh, but what's going on? Oh yeah, forgot to say. Please make sure you don't have like holes within whatever it's falling into because that's what kind of happens. It kind of goes a little bit like fluid, doesn't it? Hang on a minute. That gives me an idea.